Answer right. All right. Okay. One half of the room is really, really enlightened. I'm kidding. Okay. Done? All right. Awesome. Anyone else done? Anyone counting? Okay. Awesome. Okay. All right. Okay. So A, B's, C's, D's, and E's. What was your highest? Anyone? So what was A here, sir? Right here? Words of affirmation, right? Yeah. These. Okay. Who got A as the highest number out of all? Can I see your hands? Way up. Way up. Wow. These are the A's, all right? So what does A stand for? Words of affirmation. What does that mean? So basically, these people who put their hands up for A, words matter to them, a big deal, a huge deal, right? So the best way to love these people is to affirm them. Okay, speak life, speak blessing, right? Encourage them. That means a lot. That carries a lot of weight for people who scored really highly for words of affirmation. What's next? Quality time. Anybody for quality time? Awesome. Yeah. Wow. Right. So quality time matters a lot for those individuals who put their hand up for quality time. Okay. Okay. All right. Number receive. Okay. Anyone got a high score for receiving gifts? Anybody? Nobody? Okay. One person. One honest person. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. One guy. Anyone else got a high score for receiving gifts? Okay, this is true, all right? My wife scores pretty high in receiving gifts. My score in receiving gifts is almost negative. I'm kidding. It's very low. So, true story, growing up on my birthday, I'd be receiving obviously gifts from friends and stuff. They would not be open for a week. So the birthday gifts I would get would just be lying there, packed. They wouldn't be open for a week. My sister would end up opening them. So guess what happens now? When I go to India, I don't take anything much from my sister. And though I tell her not to buy anything for me, if I go empty-handed to India, I'm coming back with a suitcase full of stuff that my sister's bought for me. So can you guess what my sister's primary love language is? Is gifts. Because that's how she expresses love. Point being, and I'm sure everyone in this room has scored high in different areas, right? It's worth comparing with one another where you've scored high and where you've scored low. There's nothing wrong with scoring low somewhere, but it basically means that that's not your primary way of expressing love. For some individuals, their primary way of expressing love is to vocally express it. Someone else will use gifts. So, true story. Okay, I'm making myself vulnerable here, okay? I'm a terrible gift giver, but I worked really hard on it. I'm not saying I'm good at it now, I'm great or something, but I've definitely improved. But initially, in my first 2 years of my marriage, Manisha will laugh if she was here, she'd be like, how come you don't get me any gifts? So I was like, well, I don't know what to buy for you. I mean, what do I buy for you, you know? How do I don't know. I've never bought anything for any girl ever, you know? So, but then I realized that, hey, for her, gifts is a very, very high or strong love language, and that's how she would interpret and receive love. Make sense? So the point is, as Dr. Amos was saying earlier, if I'm speaking to someone from Tamil Nadu in Bengali, all right, you know, I think you'll get the joke. But if I'm going to speak to someone from Tamil Nadu in Bengali, they're not going to understand what I'm trying to say. I can tell that person I love you, but they can't understand what I'm saying. The point is, we need to learn how to speak each other's love languages. And the powerful part of this is, if I know that your primary love language is words, I can actually love you better. I can actually be more intentional about employing more words to love you. Or if I know, like in my wife's case, her primary love language is gifts, I can be more intentional about getting gifts for her. The amazing thing is, I took this to the office. And I used this and I shared this with colleagues in the office, and they absolutely loved it. So Gary Chapman, who came up with the book, came up with another book called 5 Love Languages for the Workplace. So I want to dare you to try this, not just with your friends, home groups, whatever. friends from church and stuff, but try this even with colleagues in the office. It's an amazing way to even share about the gospel and the love of God, right? By the way, the ultimate speaker of love languages is who? The ultimate love language communicator, right? He uses all of this with us, right? Words of affirmation, quality time, what else? Receiving gifts, acts of service, physical touch, my goodness. He's the master we can learn from, right? Point is, I don't know about you, but there have been times when I've been running on empty, all right? And so I don't know, most of us in this room, we work like 10-hour days, right? Sometimes 12-hour days. So on an average day, obviously if I'm meeting amazing guys like Manoj, instead of going home, if I'm catching up with guys like him and others, then I'm probably not being able to be home much. I'm barely being able to give an hour or two at the max on a weekday, all right? And I'm exhausted, I'm tired. I probably don't have much energy to even employ a love language, right? Which means what? I'm going to be running on empty every now and then. My tank is going to be pretty low. But what do we do with our cars or with our phones when we need charging? We need a power source, right? We don't ditch our phones or our cars. We just go to the power source or to the station. So who's our station? Yeah, so that's like a sign. So whenever I see that Manish and I are having some kind of tension, it's like, for me, it's like the red light on the dashboard of the car saying, hey, you're running on empty, you need to get some petrol into your tank. You need to get some petrol into your car. And that brings me to the love triangle. Not the Bollywood love triangle, but this is better. So that's me, and that's Manisha, and if we are both going in the same direction, pursuing the ultimate love language speaker, the author of love and everything, right? Our maker, as Dr. Amos was saying, the designer of marriage, right? If we are going after him, guess what? We're going to come automatically closer to each other, right? If we are pursuing him. And so I want to just tie in with what he was saying earlier. If we go after him, hey, right? We'll be able to speak the love languages better. Hope you enjoyed this activity. If you want a soft copy of this, I can email it to you. In addition to another one for teens. Anyone got teens in the room? You need love languages for teens. You need love languages for teens, all right? So there's another one for teens. I'll send that to you. You can use it with them as well. I'm going to shut up right now. Could you put your hands together again for the one and only Dr. Amos?